let's go ahead and pivot over to Big League Utah.
Okay.
But yeah, so let's talk Big League Utah. Now, this came down in the Utah Legislature about 6 days ago now. The Utah Legislature approved $900 million of public funding to bring Major League Baseball team to Utah. About a week ago, HB 532 passed both the House and the Senate with a vote of 51-21 in the House and 25-4 in the Senate, respectively. Governor Cox now has 3 weeks to sign it into law, which he's expected to do. Again, this provides up to $900 million in state funds that would bring an MLB team to Utah by 2032. To me, that is the key piece there. It needs to happen before this, because if it doesn't, the funds go back into the general state fund, and that only gives us 6 years. Sounds like a long time, but in reality, that's not long at all.
No, 6 years. I mean, especially, we've still got a few years with, the current commissioner, and he said he wants to make an expansion happen before then.
Right.
But that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen before then.
Right. So basically, I think the only thing though is that the Utah would have to land a team by then.
Right. And the big thing is that MLB portion is contingent on Utah landing that team, right? Like you said, if not, it goes back to the state fund. So
yeah.
To push that even further, that whole area they're looking to redevelop. And the second part of that bill, because total it was like $2 billion.
Yeah,
they agreed for spending.
Yeah, we'll get into that. There's another bill that's coming in for the basketball and hockey, which we'll cover that because that also passed this week, but we'll cover that next week. But let's go ahead and talk about how we're funding this, right? So first of all, the taxes in the power district itself will be going towards this. There's also going to be a 1.5 increase on a tax for car rentals for non-residents. But anyway, this is interesting because originally they wanted a statewide hotel tax that didn't pass.
Right.
So this was required in order for them to do that. So how do you think about that as far as the way they chose to fund this?
I like the fact that they kind of found a way without, raising a bunch of local people's taxes, and then to raise $900 million. It's the Millers that have to come up with the other $900 million when they do decide if, we do get an expansion team. So really, if you're the Millers, you come up with half, I'll come up with half is a pretty good deal.
I definitely want to talk about that here in a minute, because that actually has a huge play, because we'll definitely cover that. The other requirements, though, is that the team will have to carry the Utah name, not like Salt Lake City or Wasatch Front or something like that. They have to carry the name Utah and represent the full state. Now, here's really the kicker. Now, you mentioned this earlier, and we'll get into that again in a minute, but you mentioned how the stadium would cost basically about $1.8 billion, and the Larry Miller Group was funding the other half, while we're covering half, $900 million, and they're covering the other $900 million. The state will own the land and the stadium, and it would be leased back to the team at a rate of $150,000 per month.
That's it.
Yeah. So the Millers are paying $900 million to build the stadium, and they're not even going to get to own it.
Right. I want to know where that money goes to. You know what I mean? Like, where does $150,000 a month go to when you pay it back to the state?
Oh, I'm probably sure it's going into the other $900 million that they're just passed on the other bill to go towards the new NHL and NBA stadiums.
Exactly.
That's probably where it's going. We already know Rob Manfred wants to get it done by the time he's done, which is 2029.
Right.
And we want, on our funding is dedicated on whether being announced by 2032. So I think we're lined up pretty good there.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned it there that the Millers have estimated that they would cost about $1.8 billion to build the stadium. They also they announced that they're committing $3.5 billion towards the Power District area itself, which will have a new investment group with board oversight. It's been mentioned that they have a 100-acre area, which will include affordable housing, as well as commercial and entertainment spaces alike. What do you think about that, the development of that area?
I think there's not going to be one affordable house anywhere near that district.
Yeah. I would like to know their definition of affordable.
Yeah. 1.1 million
for
a 800 square foot apartment near the Power District.
Yeah. Overlooking the ball stadium.
Yeah, exactly. Affordable housing. Get out of here.
We'll see. We'll see what that looks like, guys. My final thought on this is that this makes Utah to be the front runner in the MLB team expansion at this point. I believe that we're the only city that has an ownership group in place, a site chosen, and already have public and private funding in place, which makes Utah the only true shovel-ready city ready for the MLB.
Mm-hmm.
We did a deep dive on this last week. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, but some people say they're shovel-ready. Some people have an ownership group, but they don't have the state money. We've literally got it in law. Cox is going to sign this thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's it's a done deal.
Oh yeah, and especially, I mean, if they pulled the trigger this week, we'd be building a stadium next week.
Yeah, I think we're the only city in the country that's ready.
That's because this is the place, Darren.
That's right. That's right.
This is the place.
It is. It is, dang it. Absolutely. But yeah, anyway, let us know in the comments down below, folks, if you're here in Salt Lake City, Utah, or if you're in the Utah area, or if you're not in the Utah area. Let us know what you think about the possibility of Utah getting an expansion team. We talked about last week how I want to talk about this week, how I think it's a good thing that the A's aren't coming here. And specifically for this reason, man, you don't want to have the A's and then have the team basically just not perform for 2 years, then have the public lose interest in the baseball team, and then you lose your expansion franchise.
That's really tough when you don't control anything with the franchise. They're just here being run by an ownership group out of California or Las Vegas, and they don't. I mean, the
Miller's
only kind of worried about how they're performing or how their attendance is, and
and the Miller Group was very clear about it. They were just being hospitable. They were just being neighborly and saying, "Hey, if you guys need a place, we have an extra ball field. We're planning on bringing an expansion team." They never thought it was going to be a permanent thing.
Right.
But they definitely just want to extend the hand and say, hey, let us know. We're definitely here for you. So, like I said, I think they're the front runners, and I don't think there's anybody that's even close.
I don't think so either.
All right.
I can't wait to get an MLB team.
It'll be awesome. It'll be awesome. I look forward to it. But yeah, let us know in the comments down below, folks. Again, let us know what you think about MLB expansion. Do you like what Utah's doing there? Do you like all the plans for it, like location, all that good stuff? Let us know what you think in the comments down below.
Yep.
We'd love to hear from you on that. Once again, folks, if you are watching this on YouTube or listening as a podcast, we do live stream this episode every single Wednesday at 7:30 Mountain Time. Be sure to subscribe to the channel on YouTube and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a live stream and when we go live on our YouTube channel.
If you're watching one of our short videos, it's available wherever you get your podcasts, audio only. There should be a link right over there.
If you'd like to see more of what we covered on this subject, there'll be a link to a playlist right here. Also, make sure you click the subscribe button right here in the middle and make sure you hit the notification bell so you never miss one of our videos. My name is Darren. That is AJ, and this has been the DNA Sports Recap.
Till next time.